North Carolina, we need a family meeting. North Carolina, I need to know where you sit. I need to know if any of you are supporting Mark Robinson. I want to know if you like Mark Robinson. I want to know if you're going to vote for Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson, Lieutenant Governor for the state of North Carolina, won the Republican primary, and it's an open seat because the incumbent was in his second term, and he cannot seek a third term. We're talking about Roy Cooper. Roy Cooper, under law, could not seek a third term. He was ineligible. So this seat is wide open. And Mark Robinson won roundly last night the GOP nomination for the governor of North Carolina. Now, who's Mark Robinson, you may say? I'm going to play a clip and then I'm going to tell you some things about him. But I'm just curious in this audience, does anybody in North Carolina, did you vote for him? Do you like him? And this is let's play the most egregious ones. Smith, this is, yeah, I
honestly believe, Chris, that is what the left is doing with the Harvey Weinsteins, the Bill Cosbys, the Matt Lauers. They have picked out an elite group of people that have committed these so-called sexual crimes or whatever kind of crimes they've committed or offenses, and they have thrown those people underneath the bus, eating their own, to breed a spirit of fear in people, so people will be afraid to stand up and speak up and get involved, because they want people to say, well, they know everybody's got something in their past. Everybody's sins come short of the glory of God. They know that.
They're trying to destroy our resolve and our will and trying to make us afraid to stand up and speak the truth. Don't let it happen, folks. Look at this stuff for what it is. This thing that they did with Kevin Hart, and this thing all the way back, like I said, the Harvey Weinstein, the Bill Cosby's, all of them. It's all part of that same plot.
Wow. Okay. So the plot is to set up Harvey Weinstein and Matt Lauer and Bill Cosby so that people who like to sexually assault and abuse and rape people and drug them and rape them will be afraid to speak out. I'm so confused by this line of logic, but I know exactly what he's saying or what he's doing, because as he said, everybody falls short. He even put out on his social media several years ago about abortion, because he wants you to, if you are pregnant, no matter what the circumstance, you must carry that baby to birth, period. He said, this is a silly argument, this talk about abortion. 99% of abortions in this country are done, quote, on demand, meaning the women had consensual, and he put that on all caps, actually he spelled consensual wrong, consensual, consensual sex. That might be some kind of different sex. Maybe that's like, all right, let me keep reading. Consensual sex, got pregnant, and simply does not, damn, grammar, I'm reading this verbatim, does not want to have the child. Everybody knows there's no apostrophe for there is, because that's a contraction all day long. Y'all want somebody that just really can't. And he went to school, apparently. Oh, no degree. Okay. And I'm not disparaging people that don't have degrees, because there's some brilliant people out there with no degrees. He's not one of them. Just going to say that. But he's could be your governor, North Carolina. Everybody knows there's exceptions to rules. And in this case that you mentioned, that should be up to the woman. But to have abortion mills that kill the unborn at will is shameful. And as sure as I am writing this, if we allow this to become an accepted part of our society, all caps, we will feel the wrath of God. And I'm not on a high horse. No, anyway, I'm not saying abortion is wrong because I said so. It's wrong because God says so. God says so. What scripture is that? All right. It's wrong when others do it, and it was wrong when I paid for it to be done to my unborn child in 1989.
Wow.
Yo, this guy. Okay. And listen, we all fall short. He's correct. And, we ain't who we were. Everybody got some things. I'm sure this is what he's saying, right? So everybody has a little touching in their background. Everybody's got a little rape. Is that what you're saying? Mark Robinson. So this is a distraction because, everybody's done it. So we should just ignore it. Okay. Well, I'm not surprised because the man that grabs pussies, who is now the presumptive nominee, he is the nominee for the Republican Party because Nikki Haley dropped out last night. He compared Mark Keith Robinson to Martin Luther King Jr. He compared him to MLK. Y'all are in for it. Okay.
This is crazy.
Also, he said, because he's black, by the way. Did I mention he's got melanin? He's got melanin, born in Greensboro, North Carolina, the ninth of 10 children. He said his daddy was an alcoholic and abusive, and his family suffered from domestic violence, and he grew up in foster care. Like, this man has a story. He's got a story to tell. He's got trauma. This is what we're looking at. This is why people need to go seek counseling. So he said this. He said, if you want to tell the truth about it, and he's talking about reparations and everything, if you want to tell the truth about it, it's black people who owe reparations. I'm not making this up. Because somebody in those fields took strikes for you. You don't deserve reparations. After these fields were ended and slavery was ended, somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. Somebody fought wars and died for you. Somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have, and they did it for you. And there are people in their graves right now, and they are there because they were willing to stand up and fight for you. But somehow reparations aren't owed. I'm so confused, but I'm not surprised. This man's logic is faulty. He even went on to talk about the transatlantic slave trade. If it was Africans who fought wars against Africans. Now, this rings true to so many of us because it's true. It's true, but because guess what? The continent of Africa, people didn't see each other as, the same. That's a construct. These were warring entities, people from different tribes and communities fighting each other. There was no black and white back then, so they didn't even understand these people coming here. Oh, okay, well, we have, spoils of war. But they had no idea about the whole entire system of economy and insurance and how the whole world would be flipped upside down. They had no clue. But I digress. That's history. Who cares about history? Actual facts. I don't know. But he said it was Africans who fought Africans and enslaved the losers. And it was victorious African warriors who sold defeated African warriors to European slave traders. All true. In exchange for cloth, guns, and money. It was Africans that facilitated the kidnapping of other Africans. And this is going to ring true to a lot of black people. They're going to be like, yes, this is true. This is true. And if the Africans who watched as Africans were sailed away in the belly of slave ships toward the brutal system of chattel slavery, it was Africans. It was Africans who increased their power through the enslavement of Africans. And today it is Africans who are still doing this to Africans. He is nasty. Now I ask you, why would I put the name of the culture that fought to sell black people into slavery so he doesn't call himself African American? This is why. Some of y'all agree with this because all it takes is one little thread for you to be like, yes, this is my man. I feel seen. But he will have control over your entire freaking government, and it would include all of the rights that you want to have. Do you want this man as your governor? I just will ask you to look down south to Florida if you want to see what that looks like.